This is the Agenda podcast for Friday, the 22nd of September, coming to you live from the Export Beer Garden Studios.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
G'day, welcome along to the Agenda podcast. A little late this week with myself, G Lane, and James McOnie.
What up, what up? I think you got the date wrong.
Oh, did I?
Maybe.
It's the Friday the 23rd of September.
Yes.
Oh.
But only because it was Earth, Wind and Fire Day. Do you remember the 21st of September?
Is it the 21st of September? Earth, Wind, or was it 23rd?
Yeah, I think it's the 21st. And anyway, we've done a song in McOnie Road Studios. We might be able to play that out at the end.
Oh, yeah?
Sam Cane is the best defender.
He is the best defender.
Yeah.
Not this week, though.
No, he's had a head knock, or they call that, even though it's a brain injury. But, you know, they like to euphemistically call it a head knock.
Head knock. Well, it doesn't sound quite as bad as a brain damage.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a ya ding dong. Oh, I've also got a photo for you guys. I saw a snack, like a bougie snack called ding dong.
Oh, I've seen ding dongs.
Yeah.
I've seen ding dongs. Someone sent me a bag of ding dongs.
Yeah.
I've seen the ding dongs. They're great. But we just come back from the Jossie Wells Invitational as well. That was last week in Wanaka. Geez, what a good time that is.
Yeah, can you talk us through? Is that like it's a snow tricks event, like freestyle rock the microphone?
I'll tell you what it is. Like it's a great event because Jossie Wells. So well respected amongst respected amongst the this kind of, what do you call it, the freestyle skiing kind of community. You know, he's
a kind of godfather. Almost,
in New Zealand, and also with overseas as well. He's he opens doors, and when he sent an invite out to come down to New Zealand and spend a week at Cadrona and Triple Cone, he got over 100 athletes from 18 different countries come.
Wow.
Paid for themselves. Their sponsors paid for them to come. So you had Red Bull people there, you had Monster people there, you had like Solomon. But you not only did
export people came down?
Export people. Not only did you have the athletes, but you have all their sponsors who come along to film content. Mm-hmm. So basically for the week, it was started on the Monday, and it's a mixture of like rail jams, half pipes, mini half pipes, and they go between Cadrona and Triple Cone. And it culminates in the big air on the Saturday, which is we went down and commentated on the live stream and did that. It was a beautiful day on the Saturday, no wind, bluebird, couldn't have asked for a better day. And we went out with the athletes the night before on the old Earnslaw. Mm-hmm. Very young James McOnie. A lot of them aged between, I reckon, the youngest competitor was 13 on the big air. And I think the oldest was I think it was Byron Wells, who's kind of in his 30s.
So they're just flipping around. They just chuck some frickin' skis or a snowboard on them, and they go, off you go from a young age, and then just fly off with no fear. Bang your head, get up, bounce away, go and do it again. But the unique thing was that it's an invitational. It's not a competition, so there's no points available for World Championships. It's a chance to come to New Zealand and train. Usually, most of them are in their off season as well. So they come down, train, do some new moves, learn some new moves off some, they're all good mates as well. But there's no judging. So on the big air, there was no judge. They immediately, when it stopped, they all got sent a link, and they vote on the best women skier on the big air, the best male skier on the big air, the best kind of slope style rail jam, and it's all voted for by your peers. That's good. Yeah, they are kind of like supportive, aren't they? It's quite amazing to see of any sport. You know how they sit in that podium position, someone beats them, they actually wait and give them a hug and say, that was awesome, you're amazing. The camaraderie is unbelievable in that sport. And
then the final party on the Saturday night, everyone got pretty lit on Saturday night, and they gave out the awards, the $5,000 checks to the winners of each area. And then we announced our own category, the ACC off-mountain performance, which we gave to Finn Bullis.
Oh, Finn Billis.
Is it Billis or Bullis? Finn Billis, sensational off the slope. Probably only one close to him was a photographer from Australia, Andy, the photographer from Australia, who every night he would come out and goes, "You guys keen to just have a little peek out in town? Have a little peek. And I checked out his Insta. He's got like hundreds of thousands of followers. Takes some great photos. I don't know how, because that guy is twisted 99% of the time.
Well, that's the artistry of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just going to go have a little peek out in town, and then I'm going to take some photos.
But since he wasn't competing, we had to give it to Finn, who was pissed off he didn't win any of the other awards, but he certainly, off mountain, he was a performer.
He's a young man as well, isn't he, Finn?
Yeah, yep, he is. Yeah, he took a liking to Joe Jury. He went up to Joe Jury and he said, "We're going to make out tonight."
Did he say? Yeah.
Joe Jury from he's from Rangiora.
Not the first man that said that to Joe Jury.
No, and he kind of took a step back and then he went and he looked him in the eye and went, "Okay."
Because he's got bear appeal, Joe Jury. One of the best kept secrets of New Zealand sport. If you're thinking, who are the famous people that turn up here? And I know we've had the Williams sisters play tennis here, and Roger Federer on a back court when he was a young guy, and Nadal just when he was starting the picking the undies out of his bum phase.
Yeah.
But however, every winter we have all the stars of the American ski team and some of the European ones. But we've had Lindsey Vonn, Bodie Miller, these are downhill skiers. He would stay in a caravan. And he just sort of want to go and be one with nature. He's kind of like that guy who just goes, "No, I'm going to stay in a caravan, dude. I'm fine." And so Bodie Miller would be here. We'd have Chloe Kim, all those other stars, the flippy stars, the freestylers, flippity flips. But they knew they could come and stay in Queenstown or Wanaka, and nobody disturb them, give a shit, just hang out. And they were all there, pretty much, 15 or 16 Olympic gold medalists just hanging out in the winter.
Well, in the big air on the Saturday, there were 6 gold medals floating around in the team that were doing flippity flips.
Yeah, and Shaun White, people sometimes ask me, "What's the best sporting event you've been to?" And I can always rule out the worst one, which was the Cricket World Cup final in 2015 in Melbourne. We were there at the MCG, just knowing
that one delivery.
That one delivery is like,
ruined
God.
It for everyone.
I hadn't even got in the stadium yet. So
I hadn't got drunk enough to not care about it. I cared too much about it.
I know.
Mitchell Starc. Fuck you.
But you just know how the way the day's going, It's like, but the best I've seen live where you just go for spectacle's sake, maybe is Shaun White on that half pipe at Cadrona, because you actually get to stand quite close to your lane.
Yeah, you can come as close as you want.
It's not like the Olympics where you're miles back. There's no fences, exactly. And so you're just pretty much watching the greatest who ever did it, flippity flip.
Yeah.
And you're like, that is something special, because I've seen Federer play tennis in Nadal and all that sort of jazz. It's like, even some top soccer football games. I've been to a World Cup and that, and you see, and you go, well, best event though I thought was the All Whites versus Italy 2010 World Cup. Should say that, but Shaun White flippity flipping is freaking hard to beat.
And also, it was free for the public. You could just basically ski down. People came prepared with deck chairs, sitting up on the rocks, cracking open a beer. There was probably a few hundred people just kicking, watching the world's best athletes throw themselves off a 50-foot jump. We commentated it.
Yeah, there's a bit of drama around this. I understand there was some... I just want to put this to you. There's a move called a screaming seaman.
There is a move called a screaming seaman.
Is it, though?
Named after a guy's last name is Seaman, okay?
Right.
And it's it's a certain move where you grab your skis up the side or something. It's called a screaming seaman. I thought when Ed Lee, who was commentating with us, who knows his shit, he's based down in Wanaka, when he said that, I thought, okay, it's carte blanche to make up, manoeuvres, names, inappropriate names. But then, so I started going off-piste, no pun intended, but then Ed Lee kind of took the bull by the horns, and then a guy did a jump, and he goes, triple backflip, whatever, and landed, stomps it, and he's got a great-looking penis, saw it last night. And I was like, oh, what makes a good-looking penis to you, Ed? And then Wells was on the commentary as well, and he goes, well, for me, it's one that doesn't show, and this was fine. It was all ACC kind of stuff, but it was in between actual proper commentary of the big air. So I think,
wasn't this audio being?
Yes.
It was being piped into the cafe where all the kids are,
in the ski school.
In the ski school,
yeah,
right.
everywhere. So I didn't quite realise this until Joe Jury comes and says, this has been piped at every lift and every restaurant, everything And I was like, you serious? This is supposed to be for the live stream. That's a bit of feedback I gave Cadrona at the end. I was like, have a live MC for the audience and the mountain. Yeah. Hyping things up. Yo, 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 welcome.
Yeah, the live MC is the best because they have the DJ. When that Sean White event I was talking about, the DJ is crucial.
Yeah.
And the MC just sort of like giving a little bit of a hype, and then, oh my God. And they say things like, when they say stomped it, you go, oh, you say stomped.
Yeah.
That's the cool word now. So it's quite a good education. Stomped, Finn.
But we were going deep on ACC stupid shit like, has anyone ever done a vom at the top of the jump? Been so hungover, they're doing the spinny, vom, spinny, land.
Yeah.
Have anyone done it with an erection? Or like just classic kind of bread and butter ACC downstairs chat.
Yeah.
And
slippery things.
Yeah, when I found out that it was being piped everywhere, I was asked not to come back on the commentary, which I was fine with. I sat down and got myself a couple of Export 33s, and I nestled myself into the snow, and I watched the rest of the event, which was fine.
Maybe there needs to be, I don't know, like after all the drama of last week's Bledisloe Cup, there needs to be some kind of yellow card for you, G Lane. So I feel like it's not quite a sending off, or maybe we have an orange card, which is like somewhere between a red and the yellow.
It's like the walking.
Off you go for 20 minutes to half an hour, but you can come back.
Yeah, maybe it's like the Olympic walking, when they had the cards up. I've seen you with 2 feet off the ground.
You just called that a slippery dick.
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah,
I can see you.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. Maybe it's something like that. But hopefully we'll be invited back next year. Big thanks to the team at Export who came down with us as well and supported us.
The thing is, what pisses you off is you're going to start pulling punches. Now I worry about you, G Lane, because the best thing about you is the lack of filter. And because it makes me feel as somebody who works for you that, well, I can't be in that much trouble because look at this guy. And so if you're looking at all these moves and there's a hairy beaver there and you're like, oh, can I? And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to shy away. You're just going to go boots and all.
Well, that's why next year I'm suggesting that we just split off the stream, because if the stream's the stream, I think. But the broadcasting live down to the ski school and the Mayor's Cafe and stuff, that was just a bit.
Yeah, it's too much.
That was too much. I certainly won't have a filter on the live stream, but I will have a filter if I know that there is like 120 kids strapping their skis on listening to what makes a perfect penis.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with calling it a perfect penis. You probably would have got away with calling it a wanger or something that they didn't know, because jokes like a hairy beaver or a screaming seaman will go over their heads.
Yeah.
But once you say, I like the look of that penis, then I think you're getting into Chris Warner territory.
Yeah, well, they blame
Please tell me that is not your penis.
I tell you what, we look good down there though. Did you see all the North Face kit we had?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, so North Face, great sponsors of Jossie as well, and they were like, can we have a couple of jackets just to keep warm? I had everything except warm shoes. So up the mountain I had my Vans on.
I could have actually hooked you up with some. You should have told me. I didn't. This
so cold.
This trip really crept up on the ACC. Matt Heath was definitely across it, but I didn't know anything about it, unfortunately.
Did you? Okay, I'll tell you one thing.
Oh no, I think you invited me, but I think I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's like most things. You'll fuff around the edges, and then you go, I can't come. I've got to pick up a car from Manawatu, BMW Manawatu.
Yes, Manawatu BMW. Shout out. Yeah.
But the most humiliating thing that happened to me in the weekend, and I didn't know it would affect me as much as it did, was we were halfway up the mountain commentating the big air. I didn't have any skis to get back down. Neither did Scotty Stevenson, who doesn't ski, and he doesn't really want to ski. And Matt Heath was ambivalent to the whole thing. And Scotty did warn me. He goes, I spent a whole Winter Olympics walking down ski slopes, so get ready, okay, because it's quite humiliating. Oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, how humiliating can it be? And I had a box of Export and a box of hats under each arm, and we walked down the slope.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to affect me, but people were coming past and spraying snow on the back of you and stuff, and laughing at you as you're going down. Yeah. And it was and I got to the bottom and I looked at Scotty. I went, I've done a lot of humiliating things in my life, but that has really affected me because walking
did you do that in Vans as well?
Yes, and I was in Vans, so they had ski boots and stuff. I had Vans, so
sorry to interrupt. Yeah, so walking down,
I felt like I had club feet because I couldn't feel my toes, and dudes came past going losers, spraying you with snow and stuff. And I was like, fuck, man,
bus wanker.
Yeah. I was and there's 3 grown dudes all looking the same in their ACC North Face kit. Just getting the kit, mate, fuck. And I was like, fuck, I got to the bottom. I had to bury a couple of beers just to bury the demons that I had.
Yeah.
I say, don't walk down a slope. Don't walk down a ski slope.
No, I thought, did you go fall over on your ass? Because they are slippery slopes.
Yeah, they are. Well, luckily there was the snow was good down there, so it was actually not too bad.
You crunched right in, but you were basically icing your feet. That is. Yeah, I don't know. Can you ski, G Lane?
I can snowboard. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I didn't have time to get my board because we were late. I had to pick Wells up from the airport. We just bombed it straight there. Got a lift on a ski mobile. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're cool. They're like jet skis on the snow. So I got to ride up the mountain on that because we were in a hurry, but I just didn't think about how I was going to get down again. Anyway.
Anyway,
that's the Jossie Wells.
So All Blacks versus Wallabies bled to lots of changes. Geordie Barrett at 12. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck comes onto the bench. Ardie Savea, I think the birth of his baby has happened and he's back at number 8. Dalton Papali'i comes in for Sam Cane. G Lane. Doggerel he's not available either, so we've got Akira Ioane. So cold in the kitchen tonight. And then it's going to be
Control your temper tonight.
He is at number 6. So it's one of those ones where, okay, we've had a reshuffle. There's been a reshuffle, but it's, I mean, this is kind of, I like the idea of seeing Geordie at 12. He played most of the last test at 12 anyway because Quinn Tupaia got targeted by Darcy Swine,
Got him. Got a dog move. Anyway, look, he's got the size now because I was reading somewhere about the fact that they didn't want to put him at 12 because he wasn't big enough, wasn't solid enough, they thought, to go number 12. But he's got a bit of meat on the bones these days, Geordie. He's a big unit.
He's 6'6". He lies about his height because I think he's like one of those basketballers who wants to act shorter, like Kevin Durant. And then when you see Kevin Durant, you go, oh, he's actually 7 foot. Right, got it. So he is a 6'6". The tallest ever second five he's ever played for the All Blacks. Sonny Bill was pretty tall. He's about 6'4". He will be, I think, just judging from the press conference yesterday, the vibe, the Marbo, is that he wants to play 12 more. He's already said that for the Hurricanes. So
you're more in the game. You're more in the game.
Yeah, and this is a big
he
dress.
wants the ball.
He does. Yeah, this is a big dress rehearsal for him. But the other thing with him being at 12 is that he's expecting a lot of traffic. He's a good defender, right? So he's a very good defender. He's a big unit, so he carries well. But it's that kicking game that Havili was starting to give us to break down defences that you wouldn't want to miss. So I feel like even in the past 3 months, the Roger Tuivasa-Sheck experiment is kind of like been, I mean, he's leapfrogged Roger because Roger was picked in the All Blacks, right?
Yeah.
And he's pretty much said, no, I just need to put Geordie at 12, And so I wonder whether whoever plays 12 now is going to have that auxiliary, spare kicking game as well. And what happens with Roger, we don't know. But if he carves when he comes on, that could be his spot. He could be the bench man. Bodie starts at fullback, and I like that because I think if you've got your best or most sort of attacking back X factor, he's got to start. You can't just wait to the 60th minute because he could impact the game at any time. And you might as well have him on there. I'm a big Bodie fan.
Yeah, how good though, speaking of Bodie, how good was the chip kick to Will Jordan behind the line and Jordan just putting the afterburners on, the step as he got it.
The step.
I had the hugest wide on the commentary when we were doing that. I was like, oh, you beautiful man.
It was beautiful, and I think I was saying that Andrew Strawbridge has been in there working with some of the young guys on skills, and he said, I've heard that Will Jordan, some of those guys needed to work on their sidestep
because they got pace.
They got pace, and they've come through and they've been the quickest in the team. They can just sort of gas everyone. But, he chucked in the step and he looked good doing it.
Did.
And because he's got those little pistons, he's got the shorter legs, he just gets the sewing machine going and the cover can't get there, He's and off he goes. And the big worry for me is on the other side, the big caboose. Caleb Clark.
He got shown up on defence, didn't he? That's what everyone's saying. I don't know. I didn't spot it in the game, but
because he should be. He's almost the guy. Like once he comes back, we're getting our match winner back.
Yeah.
But I sort of think like maybe that position over there has got a little bit of competition growing because I feel like Rico in the past couple of tests has pretty much said everyone would piss off.
Yeah.
This is me.
Yeah.
I belong here.
Yeah.
So, G Lane, you're going to be, I'm not commentating, but you're here with Matt Heath.
Matt Heath and myself, Saturday night, 7 o'clock on iHeartRadio. Radio Hauraki as well, so you can basically, wait, what do you do? Text. You text something to something and you get all the frequencies.
The frequencies. Yeah,
north or south. Text north to 3483, south to 3483, and you'll get all the frequencies for Radio Hauraki. If you don't have Sky, Sky Sport 9, we're on as well. We're all over the place. Surprised when it not just stick us on Sky Sport 1. But James McOnie, the last time Australia won in New Zealand, that's why that jar of dirt in front of you is from Carisbrook.
Wow.
Because it was 2001. Carisbrook obviously got demolished. It's now been turned into a Ryman's. So there's a bit of history there. The Carisbrook dirt, which we're giving away on the ACC socials. A little bit of history for you. But
is that genuine Carisbrook dirt?
It is. Yeah, that's why it's all... See, it's actually like a car park because it's got the hard kind of aggregate.
Bit of gravel.
It's from the Carisbrook location, not from the actual turf, because that's well and truly gone.
Okay,
and it's a part of the geographically where it is.
You could get by. I think Eden Park was selling turf.
Yes, when they relayed it, didn't they?
Relayed it.
Yeah.
And even when Rugby Park, which is now FML Stadium in Waikato, when they basically did their whole refit, I mean, G Lane, you and I used to go and stand on the terraces. They sold the terraces. And I think Gats, Warren Gatlin's got some terrace at his place in Waihi. There's plenty of people. My mate bought some Waikato terraces and the grandstand seats and all that.
They did that at Athletic Park. Yeah. My father-in-law's got a bit of the Millard stand in his back lawn. It's deteriorated massively. I think it's almost rotted away because probably needed to be sanded down and maybe stained, but it's a bit rotten now. But in 2001, did you know Back of the Wise first series came out? Jeremy Wells had only just met Mikey Havoc, and they were just planning their first tour. That's how long ago this was, 2001. That is that's like, 21 years ago since they last won in New Zealand. That is a shocking record. Shocking record.
Is it a bit like the Black Caps record of winning in Australia?
Pretty much. But at least we win we win 2 or 3 years. It's not 21 years. Maybe the test matches, like it was, but we don't get to play many test matches. Aussie get to play every year in New Zealand.
I know.
So
we don't get over there enough to increase our strike rate. But we haven't won since that test match with Dougie Bracewell going off in Hobart, right?
Yeah.
We haven't won a single game of anything else either.
In Australia, haven't we? Have we not even farted out a one day or a T20 or something?
I don't know. I thought we hadn't.
Farted together something? You're probably right, but it's not. Surely it's not 21 years. Anyway.
No, it's not 21 years. No, Aussie. The thing about it is that Dave Rennie has actually done an amazing job with them, and sometimes you sort of think, oh, okay, that they're screwed without Tong and Thor. Well, they don't have him, and they're fine, and they've found other big humans because Rennie is one of those sort of, I guess
he's a big human hunter.
He's a big human hunter. He's a pragmatist. He knows that in the end it's a yardage game, rugby. He wants to be Al Pacino from, is that Any Given Sunday?
Yeah.
And he knows that you've got to win the inches, the yards, all that sort of stuff. So he's gone around and done a big human hunt. Unfortunately, one of those big humans is a dirty swine, Darcy Swine, who gets in trouble all the frickin' time. He is the new Richard Lowe, but he's on their side. And that ban of 6 weeks, I think, is pathetic. But at the same time, they probably don't have a precedent for someone trying to target and pretty much give you a season-ending knee injury, potentially career-ending as well.
You look at that. I want to rake over the coals of the Swine. Yeah. But he was, first of all, breaking the law by coming in from the side.
Oh, he's miles offside. Yeah. It's like someone taking a kick at goal and you getting tackled while you're actually taking a penalty. You're supposed to be 10 metres back.
There's going to be some niggle on Saturday night. There's going to be some niggle because Jeremy Wells bumped into Aaron Smith at the airport and it promptly asked him to come to the toilets with him to get a selfie, which is another story.
Right.
But he said to him, they're chatting about it, and Aaron Smith, Aaron from Distribution, formerly known as Dick Pick, said, watch out, next Saturday is going to be spicy. There's some real feeling between these two teams.
Yeah.
Not only, after the Quintupaia incident, but there was a lot of stuff went on in that game, and they said it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be worth it.
I don't doubt it. I mean, first of all, they need to avenge Quintupaia. We were hoping for it
during the game.
During the game, I was going, how can you let that happen? Surely there's somebody who's going to come in, because in Origin it happens, right? It's like the next carry, and quite often you'll see the guy, the bully, the dirty swine figure in league avoiding the next carry.
Yeah, it's like ice hockey, isn't it? When you have the enforcers coming out and they just go hammer and tongs.
He's going, I've just done the elbow to the face, but I won't carry for a little while because I know that...
Wait until it simmers down.
Simmer down,
motherfucker.
Because I saw that in that bloody... what was the game? Roosters versus Storm a few weeks ago. Very, very spicy.
Oh,
Jared Hargraves versus Nelson Asofa Solomona, and you're going, that's full on. You'd pay tickets just to see those two go at it. I'd actually like to see Nelson Asofa Solomona versus Eben Etzebeth.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a fair fight, that one. Two massive humans. So, it should be spicy. I know. Have they chosen a team that can handle the spicy? Oh, yeah, it's not a bad bit of spice.
What, for the All Blacks or for Australia? You've got Ioane, you got Hips Don't Lie, Shakira. Ioane, he loves a bit of behind the scenes. You've got Sam Whitelock, who's the captain, who's known for a bit of under that. So he'll get into it. And also you got Cody Taylor. He loves a bit of up there. No Dane Coles, though.
No, I mean, this is the whole thing. I just don't think in terms of we have got enough to...
But how good is the Samsung 50-inch? The Sony Samsung 50-inch. Sony Takiaho.
Yeah, he's on the bench. They're keeping the powder dry, not the Gold Coast powder, just the gunpowder. And he's going to be to me, he would be somebody who I think, have Samasoni out there, because Cody just seems like, I'm a good guy. I'm from Levin. Nice to see you, mate. Hey, what? There's push and shove. Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, my God. But, I mean, having said that, if you've been to Levin, you've got to be ready to,
look at Mike Minogue.
Yeah, react at any time, right? Yeah. Minogue is a classic example. He's always on edge.
He's dodging. He's always dodging and looking around behind him constantly. Rightio.
Okay.
Black Caps T20 squad for the T20 World Cup starting at the end of October. No massive surprises apart from Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy got left out of the squad, but I don't think there's any other surprises in that team. Not a bad team. Got Conway and Guptill opening up there. No other massive surprises there.
I think it's fair enough for Mr. Darcy. To be honest,
Trenty's in there, thank God.
I would lock in. Trenty.
Thank God he's in there.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I would lock in Mr. Darcy for eternity for the ODI. I think he's an amazing one-day bowler.
Yeah, not so much T20.
T20 you just basically cannon fodder unless you're doing something a little bit special. Whereas the way that he opens and he looks like, okay, there's a few overpitched deliveries, but then he nicks them out and he gets his 2 or 3 wickets and breaks a top order with lovely Trenty doing amazing things. I thought they were incredible and they totally did their job against Australia. So Mr. Darcy, sorry, love you, but the Sexy Camel has got the best set of hands of he's safe, his buckets, and you need to have catchers who are just going to swallow them up, right?
Speaking of the Sexy Camel, awkward situation yesterday. They're all up in Auckland filming for their content for the sponsors. They're doing Spark Sports stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday afternoon, I got a call from my wife saying, can you swing past the Dulux Glenfield to pick up some paint for the house because the balustrades are getting painted. They've run out of paint. It's like, yeah, okay, sweet. So I pull into Glenfield Dulux. The doors of the Dulux store are locked, and there's a real-life Dulux dog walking around. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? The big fluffy thing?
Fluffy sheepdog, yeah.
And a lady comes and goes, side door? And I went, okay. Open the side door, walk straight in, and it's a Black Caps promo shoot happening. And I walk straight into the middle of a Black Caps promo shoot. Some Southie looks up and goes, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, fuck, I just came to pick some paint up, you fucking cunts. And then you can see them all.
You're a total massive jock sniffer. You're a stalking, jock sniffing,
and I was like, and then the
Beige Brigade founding
but then
creep.
To prove it, I went up and I went, come to pick up some paint. And then the guy handed it over and I was like, see? Go fuck yourself. But
and then you're like, love you so much.
I love you guys. Not so much you. How are you? But love you.
Not sure who you are. No, but the thing is, was there any, we got Captain Phillips in there, right?
Yep.
My only feeling with that T20 team is we did it with a makeshift opener of Son of a Mitch, and it came off, but it required Jimmy Neshin to come in and do something bloody out of this world. I think we've got to pretty much tear that down and say that was a fluke. It came off because Jimmy came in and just dominated, changed the game. And so we've got to have our hitters. We've got to have hitters sprinkled throughout because Kane's obviously going to bat
all day. The
3 and 4.
He's in the rock roll. He's in the rock roll. Steer of the ship, which is
Son of a Mitch did a rock roll as well. So there were 2 rock rolls, and so I just feel like our hitters are going to go a bit further up. And this is where Finn Allen comes in? Is Finn going to be that X factor that we were kind of just missing over in where was it?
It was in the UAE.
UAE, yeah.
But big news though. ACC could well be commentating the T20 World Cup.
Yes,
we're just waiting for approval from ICC to do that via Sky Sport. So it'll be on Sky Sport 9. What I'm hoping, James McOnie, is that management at ICC have changed since 2015 because that's when we got kicked out and told never again will you be allowed to commentate or be anywhere near a World Cup event. So I'm hoping there might have been a broom go through the ICC in Dubai between now and then. How long ago was that? 12 years ago?
Was that?
It's only 7. How many?
When did you disgrace yourselves in front of the ICC? Was it 2015?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I don't think I was part of that. Thank God.
No, you weren't.
No, because I'm working for the ICC as well, commentating Japan cricket. There's a Japanese tournament, sort of Pacific tournament in just north of Tokyo.
All right.
In mid-October. So while you're doing the big old World Cup, I'm going to be looking after the minnows.
And we've included you in the team. You were part of the pitch. Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, because it's on Sky.
Well, I'm just.
You're a
worried
Sky
about,
employee.
I don't know if they know that I'm part of the ACC and whether I'm going to get cancelled one game in. It's going to be one of those ones.
We've all got a number on our heads. It's just when it comes up. Let's be honest. Let's face that. Also, we sold out of Black Cap supporters support group tees after that Australian drubbing over in Cairns. We had our Black Cap supporters support group. We reformed it with Matt Heath, myself, a lot of other people, and we put a special on the tees online, and they went in about 2 hours. So we're thinking about doing another run on that. So let us know if you want one. Just text BCSSG, Black Cap Supporter Support Group, to 3236 with what colour you want and size, and then we'll try and sort you out. Because we had a lot of upset people who couldn't get their hands on a Black Cap Supporter Support Group tee, because it means a lot to people to be part of something and express themselves.
There's safety in numbers. It's a safe space. You can talk about supporting the Black Caps and against, I guess, what you call our nemesis nations, the ones that we just don't get it done against. And Australia is definitely top of the list there. So those T-shirts are necessary.
Yeah. This weekend's big weekend for Trans-Tasman relations, isn't it? It's we've got the Black Ferns. Are they playing Aussie? Is it Black Ferns or are they playing Japan?
They play Japan.
Okay, they play Japan before the All Blacks game at Eden Park. And then the very next day, old Blair at Eden Park has to turn around a rugby ground into a football ground in basically 12 hours. He was telling me also, I said, what are you going to do about the lines? And he goes, hope it doesn't fucking rain. Because what they do, if it's dry, he can put a dry chalk, a different type of paint that can just be washed off with a hose. He said, but if it's raining, I have to put the hardcore down, which means that it's going to take a lot more to get off. So he's praying for a fine night.
And he's got hidden soccer lines under the field as well. Everybody loves that story. You're definitely a boomer in waiting, aren't you? Because TV1 and Radio New Zealand, all these places, been talking to Blair.
I want a time lapse.
Yeah, I want to see this turning a rugby field into a soccer field. It's like that's the most exciting thing that's ever happened to them. And so you're definitely you're heading right into Boomerville by wanting to talk about.
I get a wide on for that shit. I get a wide on for that shit. Put a time lapse on it, because I saw a time lapse at Madison Square Garden where they turned it from a basketball court into a ice hockey. And then they turned it into a concert with Billy Joel, the next day. That was fucking cool. Yeah. That was like, holy shit. I was like, has that ice been here the whole fucking time under the basketball court? And they're like, fuck, sweet. And then Billy Joel wanders out and plays to fucking 40,000 people.
But it's kind of classic, though, because you and all the boomers or whoever likes the gardening chat, when they go, oh, what, so you have to wash the lines off? Oh, my God.
Can you do that?
Can you really? Washing lines?
It's not like, remember back in our day, there wasn't, can you remember?
The oil.
Yes, the oil.
Oil lines.
The oil with a bit of diesel, and basically those were the lines because it just killed the grass. So it was this like...
Well, Aussie does those gold lines for the Wallabies games. It actually annoys me. It's come on, guys.
But they basically, instead of lines, it was just dead grass and a bit of oil. So you hit the side, and what kind of oil was that? Just spare motor oil that they just spray down there.
There's a few things in sport that you sort of go, this shouldn't be a talking point, but it is. But I don't know if when the jerseys are too similar and you go, I can't enjoy this game quite the same.
No, the best example of that was New Zealand-Scotland. Up in the World Cup in 2000. And
it was silly, wasn't it?
Was it? When was that? Like it was I had to commentate it with Kevin Sinnott, of all people, for Radio Live. I was steamed, as per usual. But we couldn't. It was when New Zealand played in their grey. Yeah. The grey and kind of black. But then Scotland decided to play in their grey and maroon. And there was no chance of seeing anything in that game.
Well, there was a chance of Collingwood playing Geelong in the AFL final this week. And one's got vertical dark stripes, one's got horizontal dark stripes. And I think they kind of refused to do a change strip. And everybody complains.
It's a stand down.
It's a stand down. And I think I've seen...
Someone should just play skins.
Photos and videos of it, and it is so confusing. Even though all the players are spread so far apart, you'll be forgiven for looking up and just kicking it to some guy on the other team.
Oh, that'd be so funny. Just toss a coin and please play some skins. Just take your top off and just run. Because they've got good rigs. What are they worried about?
Yeah, but thank God Sydney Swans made it that red and white. That's fine.
I want to go to that's two events. Just sidetracking. There's two events I really want to go to before I die. A Super Bowl, and I actually want to go to an AFL final because that looks fucking mean at the MCG.
They had the Killers play after one AFL final, and the Killers, being good bastards, just said, "Yeah, come up." If one guy wanted to go up and sing.
You just give him the mic.
So he's got his medal on. He's like got his little short shorts. Oh yeah, mate, gonna come have a peek. Gonna have a peek on the mic.
They're getting paid $1 million. They're like, there you go, mate. Yeah. Go for it. Can I have a peek?
Yeah, can I have a peek? Coming out of my cage and I'm feeling just fine. I'm Australia.
Did a shoey and then got
jealousy.
Did a shoey, got his cock out, pissed in his mouth, and grabbed the nearest poodle.
Jealousy. Now I'm gonna do a shoey. Australia.
So when's the AFL final? Is that on Sunday?
It'll be tomorrow's.
Is it tomorrow's? Is it Saturday?
So 4:30 tomorrow, and then always used to be the final that was live. And I remember as a kid, I'm probably a bit older than you, G Lane, but they used to always show it live, and you didn't get wouldn't even show rugby live unless it was a test match. Back in those days, so it was like, okay, we're going to watch the AFL final because it's always a fight.
Yeah.
Always a fight and a proper fight.
Yeah.
And so kind of like that was compulsory, and also streamers everywhere, and like you say, the fanfare is unbelievable. So that's Geelong, that's my team or my mate's team, so I support the Geelong Cats against the Sydney Swans. But at the exact same time, Waikato challenge for the Shield.
Oh.
So that is a juicy weekend,
And then straight into the AB's Aussie Niggle Fest. And then the next day, the All Whites are playing the Socceroos, which is the worst name. And they must hate being called the Socceroos.
Socceroos, mate. And they, and of course, before that, there's a whole lot of groundskeeping that's going to go on.
So much repainting.
G Lane will be like, send me the tape.
It's like, what's that?
Send me it.
Wash a bit more off. Wash a bit more off. Watch the goal line.
Okay.
Watch the goal line. Oh, sorry.
So, creating your own lines. And so, I saw the game last night between the All Whites and the Socceroos. And the Socceroos, they're all
1-0? 1-0?
It was 1-0. And the Socceroos, the All Whites played really, really well. Chris Wood shoulder charged their goalie. It was awesome. Also, our best player, or most sort of like the creative genius, the guy called Elijah Just, and he looks 12, and I defy anyone to find a grown man, because he's over 20 now, who looks younger than Elijah Just.
Wow.
Send us a text 3236.
Any
sport. Well, younger than Elijah Just. Let's say man.
Oh, okay. There was a 13-year-old thrown down at the Jossie Wells.
No, you got to be over 20. You got to be a grown man looking younger than Elijah Just. That's fair, right? Okay. Over 20.
Jeremy Wells?
Oh, yeah. He's been cryogenically frozen, eh? Far out.
I'm just trying to think of the gingers that came out of the Crusaders this year. There were a few young-looking gingers, but it's still
Fletcher Newell, he looks quite young.
Yeah, no.
So Elijah's
a giant.
Elijah is 22.
Yeah.
And just to give you an idea of...
Have a look at him. Oh, yeah, Jesus. He looks pretty.
He's quite handsome.
He's got a pretty mouth.
Pretty, yeah.
He's a handsome man. And so Elijah... And actually Ben Wayne, who's about the same age, he looks young. He looks like Macaulay Culkin. So the weird thing about it is the Aussie players are all a little bit like underbelly, you know what I mean? Like they could be a henchman.
Yeah.
And they're big like Aussie rules guys as well, because Chris Wood... was pretty much he dwarfs most teams that we play.
Yeah,
but he's just sort of wandering around in the land of the giants up there against these Aussies.
And those guys, Socceroos, they must hate being called the Socceroos. Yeah. There should be a chant where everyone chant the Socceroos, because they hate the fact it's called soccer. All the football fans in Aussie. And the fact their team's called the Socceroos.
Socceroos.
They need to go for a rebrand.
Well, the thing
Footy
about,
Roos, the Footy Roos.
The thing about football over there is if you say football, you're actually talking about Aussie rules, or if you're in Sydney League.
Yeah, true.
So
there's mass confusion.
Yes, there is. I know it's funny because in the media, even here in mainstream media in New Zealand, there's a lot of people who say it's got to be called football, and I'm like, well, I don't know. It just means in America, if you say football, you're talking about
American football.
Yeah, NFL. Yeah.
Well, it's like rugby.
Soccer, you know exactly what you're talking about. So my argument, as somebody who's been in the media, is that clarity is the most important thing. If you know that once you say soccer, you know what sport you're talking about.
So who invented the word soccer?
Ambiguity.
Then? Who was it? America? Did it come out of America soccer?
No. So I think it came out of England first, but America latched onto it and said we're going to call it soccer. And then because association football, soccer was just kind of a nickname. And in fact, the biggest TV show over there, football show, is called Soccer AM. So they don't shy away from it. They just know that it's football.
But it's just proper football heads have a go at you when you say it's soccer. Fucking football, mate. It's like, yeah, calm down, you fucking...
That's why on CGW we invented the phrase soccer football, and we just went, we're going to call it that because that's what it is. Well, association football. So
rugby football, same thing. Rugby football.
Well, no.
I play for the North Shore Rugby Football Club.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there are rugby football clubs. But that way you knew straight away what football we're talking about. Soccer football, American football, Aussie rules football.
I've got the answer for you here. So in 1880s, the University of Oxford tried to distinguish the difference between rugby and football.
That's it.
And so soccer, was actually originally called AS soccer.
Association.
It was association soccer.
That's right.
Yeah, AS soccer.
AS soccer, yeah.
And that got shortened to soccer. So that was the difference between football and soccer. And then for some reason they held on to soccer, and I can't find out why that is.
Thank
you,
there you go.
Finn.
So that's what I said.
Okay.
It happened in England, and they're the ones who adopted it as a little nickname, and it was a cute thing. And it was fine. It's just that as soon as countries that had their own football codes started calling it soccer, everyone started going crazy about it. It's like, I just think, chill out.
Oh, well, she's a bloody chocker blocker.
Soccer
full of
quackers
this weekend, full of sports. So get amongst it. And also, look, we've got the ACC Golf Opens coming up. First one of those is in November out at Akaranga, and then it's at Pupuki, and then we go to Christchurch, then we go to Wellington, and then we go to Dunedin, and then we go to Tauranga. So we're going all over the place, all over the country with the ACC Golf Opens. So text golf to 3236. There's only a few places left for the Auckland ones, but there's plenty left for the others. She's a good time, 9 holes, Ambrose format, plenty of piss, plenty of... we've got to study our own radio station. You can listen to the radio station on the way around. There's some good times. And you have a lasagna topper every hole, along with a export in your hand.
Yeah, that sounds like amazing. Lasagna toppers, courtesy of my mate Glenn Palmer from... What's the...
Leader Group. Great New Zealanders, the Leader Group.
One thing I was going to say is, should we have said... don't drop Darcy, don't ban Darcy Swine. Let him play. We want him. And then we just get Richard Lowe, and we get Troy Flavel and Ron Cribb and all the dirtiest players who've ever played.
Get him to fuck
and they say, and he's coming back as well, mate. And is Mark Shaw still alive?
And
hopefully Mark Shaw's coming back, and everybody's like, yeah. We want him to play. Thank you very much. And just bring him to us at Eden Park.
And all those guys get to do their signature move. So like turn him on his back, and Richard Lowe gets to thump his face open. So all their signature dirty moves.
But he gets an eye gouge on the way out as well.
Oh yeah.
while he's down there, boom, boom.
So
then Mark Shaw shapes up like a sort of old pugilist, little boxer, Fight Club styles.
Yeah.
And then you've got
Ron Cribb's in close quarters.
Yeah,
close quarters.
Cribb's like, and Troy Flavel's just like taking his head off. Just absolutely decapitate. Fuck yeah! Come on, Darcy Swine. If you want to play with the big boys, we'll bring you some guys who like a bit of action.
Like a bit of niggle.
Give them a taste of Kiwi.
Yeah, get into it.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.